Have you ever noticed how life sometimes feels like it's copying you back? You wake up frustrated and suddenly the whole day seems to argue with you. But on days when you're calm and centered, everything just flows. It almost feels like reality has a pulse and it's matching yours. We like to think the world happens to us, but what if it's actually responding through us? What if this constant mirroring isn't mystical or random, but something deeply woven into the physics of existence? Like the universe is holding up a mirror to your internal state. When you're angry, that energy doesn't just disappear, it vibrates, rippling into the world around you. Likewise, moments of peace send out a different kind of signal, one that seems to attract harmony back. We've all felt it, even if we couldn't explain it, but here's the question worth asking. Why does reality behave like a mirror? Why does it echo our emotions, our energy, even our beliefs? Could it be that consciousness itself interacts with the universe in a measurable, structured way, a feedback loop between what you feel inside and what you see outside? If that's true, then your inner state isn't private, it's creative. It's the code writing your reality in real time, because maybe, just maybe, the universe doesn't just reflect what you do, it reflects what you are. If you think about it, every part of existence seems to thrive on interaction. Nothing in nature exists in isolation. Your heartbeat follows a rhythm, your breath follows a cycle, and even your thoughts pulse with electrical signals that can be measured. The universe operates on this same principle of rhythm and response. It listens, echoes, and balances. This is what scientists call resonance. Resonance happens when two frequencies meet. If they match or harmonize, they strengthen each other. If they clash, they cancel out. This is not belief, it is physics. You can see it in a simple example. When one tuning fork vibrates, another nearby fork tuned to the same note will begin to vibrate too without being touched. That is constructive interference. When two notes are off, they distort each other, creating noise or static. That is destructive interference. Everything in the universe vibrates, from atoms to galaxies. This is not just poetic language. Quantum physics confirms that matter is not solid in the way we imagine. It is energy vibrating at different frequencies. What we call reality is a vast field of overlapping vibrations constantly interacting with each other. The same principle applies to the human body. Your heart produces an electromagnetic field that can be detected several feet away. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that emotional states like love, fear, or gratitude actually alter this field. When you feel peace, the rhythm of your heart becomes smooth and coherent. When you feel anxiety or anger, it becomes jagged and irregular. This electromagnetic pattern interacts with the environment around you, creating a kind of invisible conversation between your inner world and the outer world. This is where spirituality begins to meet science. What ancient mystics described as energy or vibration is now being explored through measurable frequencies and electromagnetic fields. The universe may not be mirroring you as a metaphor, it could be responding through resonance. Think of reality as a feedback system. When your internal frequency is calm and coherent, that same order is reflected back. You start to notice synchronicities, things fall into place, and people respond differently. When your internal signal is chaotic, the outer world seems confusing or resistant. It is not punishment, it is feedback. The universe is returning information to you in the only language it knows: energy. This means your emotional and mental states are not private experiences sealed inside your mind. They are energetic broadcasts interacting with the larger field of existence. You are constantly sending out frequencies that influence what you attract, what you notice, and even how events unfold around you. It is not about forcing positivity or pretending everything is fine. It is about coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, your signal becomes clear. The field around you recognizes that clarity and organizes itself to match it. Life begins to feel more fluid because you are in tune with the larger rhythm of reality. So when life reflects chaos or struggle, it might not be a punishment from some external force. It could be an invitation to fine-tune your internal vibration. The mirror of the universe is not judging you. It is showing you where you are out of sync. When you shift internally, even slightly, the reflection changes. The mirror of reality, then, is not a mystical idea. It is a natural law of resonance. Everything interacts. Everything responds. The question is not whether the universe is reflecting you, but whether you are aware of what signal you are sending into the field. There is a hidden mirror inside you, one that science has only recently begun to understand. It lives in your brain and quietly shapes how you connect, learn, and experience the world. These are called mirror neurons. They are special brain cells that activate not only when you perform an action, but also when you observe someone else performing that same action. For example, when you see someone smile, your mirror neurons fire as if you were smiling too. When you watch someone get hurt, your brain reacts as if the pain were yours. This means your nervous system is constantly reflecting what it observes, building an internal model of external reality. You are, in a very real sense, wired to mirror the world around you. This simple discovery explains much about empathy and human connection, but it also points to something deeper. If your brain reflects what it sees, and your emotions influence how your brain fires, then your internal state does not just respond to the world. It helps shape how the world appears to you. You perceive through resonance. Scientists have also found that brain waves can synchronize between people, a phenomenon known as neural entrainment. When two people are deeply connected or sharing an emotional experience, their brain patterns start to align. This synchronization is not limited to human interaction. Consciousness itself might operate in a similar way with the larger field of energy around it. In that sense, your awareness can entrain with the frequencies it resonates with. When you focus on fear, you tune into that frequency, and life seems to echo it back. When you cultivate calm or gratitude, you shift the frequency, and the mirror reorganizes to match it. Ancient mystics spoke about this long before neuroscience existed. They believed the outer world was a projection of inner consciousness. Science is now revealing that the human brain may indeed be a reflection device, translating energy into experience. So, when reality seems to mimic your thoughts or emotions, it might not be coincidence. It could be your consciousness syncing with the field it belongs to, much like instruments in an orchestra tuning to the same note. The universe listens, resonates, and reflects the song you are playing within. If you look closely at nature, you will see that balance is built into everything. Every night is followed by day, every exhale by an inhale, every action by a reaction. The universe keeps perfect books. This is not a moral system, it is physics at work. Scientists call this balance symmetry. In particle physics, some particles have what are known as mirror twins. They are identical in every measurable way, except one is a reversed version of the other, like left and right hands. This quality of reflection, called mirror symmetry, helps the universe maintain order. It ensures that for every expression of energy, there is a counterbalance that keeps the system stable. This same principle applies to cause and effect. When you send out energy through thought, emotion, or action, the field responds by balancing it. It does not judge or punish. It restores equilibrium. Just as waves rise and fall to find level, your reality adjusts itself to match the frequency you broadcast. The reflection is not a reward or consequence. It is the natural balancing act of a self-correcting system. Even time itself reflects this symmetry. The laws of motion in physics work both forward and backward. The only difference is how we, as conscious observers, experience it. What we perceive as the future is simply the echo of the choices and vibrations we create in the present moment. When viewed this way, the mirror of reality becomes less mysterious. You live inside a universe that constantly mirrors energy to preserve harmony. The anger you project, the love you express, the peace you cultivate, all generate ripples that must find balance. The reflection you experience is the universe's way of returning coherence to its system. Understanding this changes how you see everything. Life stops being random. You begin to realize that what returns to you is not a moral test, but a reflection of the vibration you have placed into the field. When you adjust that vibration, your external world must reorganize to maintain its natural symmetry. The mirror of the universe remembers everything you send out, not to keep score, but to restore balance. Because balance is the language of creation itself. Everything in existence is part of an invisible ocean of energy. Every atom, cell, and thought gives off its own electromagnetic signal. When these signals meet, they overlap and interact, forming patterns that can either create order or chaos. This is how the universe organizes itself. It responds to energy by arranging information into harmony. Scientists call this self-organization. Imagine 2 drops of water falling into a still pond. The ripples from each drop move outward until they meet. If the waves are in sync, they amplify each other, forming a strong, unified pattern. If they are out of sync, they distort and cancel out. This simple interaction explains how everything in the universe communicates. Matter, energy, thought, and emotion all behave as waves within one connected field. Human consciousness participates in this same field. Your emotional and mental states create patterns in your electromagnetic field, which then interact with the environment. When you are centered, your field becomes coherent, meaning it flows in an organized rhythm. When you're stressed or fragmented, that coherence breaks apart, and the signals you send into the world lose clarity. The universe, being a responsive field, mirrors that level of order back to you. This reflection is not personal, it is functional. Reality is not reacting to who you are as a person, but to the frequency you are holding. It is not judging or rewarding you, it is calibrating. The universe uses feedback to maintain balance, much like how your body regulates its heartbeat or temperature. The same universal principle that keeps galaxies spinning also guides the flow of your daily experiences. When scientists study complex systems, they find that even small changes in one part of the system can lead to major reorganization across the whole. This is called emergence. The moment your inner state becomes coherent, your external world begins to reorganize in response. It may not happen instantly, but the alignment starts forming beneath the surface, much like magnetic particles lining up when exposed to a steady magnetic field. This is why inner work has measurable outer effects. The energy you radiate is a signal that the field receives and reflects back. The more consistent your inner pattern becomes, the more stable the reflection you experience. Life begins to make sense because the energy moving through you is no longer fighting against itself. Think of yourself as a tuning fork within the orchestra of creation. The pitch you hold determines the song that echoes back. When your tone is clear, the world harmonizes with it. When it is scattered, the reflection is noise. The universe is not responding to your wishes, It is responding through your vibration. It copies the signal you give it, not as a lesson, but as proof that you and reality are playing the same cosmic note. Long before science began studying energy fields and electromagnetic patterns, ancient mystics already spoke about a hidden law that governed all of creation. They called it the Hermetic principle of correspondence. It says, "As within, so without." This principle means that your inner world and outer world are not separate. They are two sides of the same mirror. What happens inside you is reflected outside you in form and experience. Modern science is beginning to validate this ancient idea. Researchers studying quantum biology have found that even our DNA emits tiny flashes of light, known as biophotons. These particles are thought to carry information, possibly influenced by emotional and mental states. When you are filled with joy or gratitude, the body's electromagnetic rhythm becomes ordered. When you are overwhelmed by fear or resentment, that rhythm becomes unstable. The body, mind, and environment are always communicating through light and vibration. This bridge between inner and outer experience shows that what we call karma may not be about cosmic punishment or reward. It might be the universe's natural way of correcting imbalance, bringing energy back to harmony. When your inner state drifts from alignment, life presents reflections that draw you back toward coherence. It is not revenge or judgment. It is balance restoring itself. In spiritual language, we might call this divine reflection. In scientific terms, it is energetic feedback. Both describe the same mechanism through different lenses. The clearer your emotional and mental field becomes, the cleaner the signal you send into the universe. The reflection that comes back is simply a match to that signal. This is why spiritual masters often teach that the path to peace begins within. They understood that trying to change external situations without changing internal vibration is like polishing a mirror while ignoring the image it reflects. The reflection only clears when the source light within becomes steady. Your consciousness is not a small light flickering inside a vast universe. It is part of the same fabric that holds stars, atoms, and energy together. When you remember this, you stop trying to control reality and begin to align with it. Reality responds not because you command it, but because you are in harmony with its natural rhythm. The mirror of the universe is not asking for perfection. It is asking for awareness. Every thought, emotion, and choice shapes your reflection in some way. When you adjust the signal within, the outer world reorganizes to match it. This is the real secret behind manifestation. It is not about forcing outcomes. It is about refining your vibration until the mirror of reality has no choice but to show you who you truly are. It is easy to hear that reality mirrors you and wonder how to actually see it happening. The truth is, this feedback is already visible in your daily life. Every repeating pattern, every challenge that keeps resurfacing, is the universe showing you a reflection of something within that needs awareness. To test this, choose one recurring pattern in your life. It might be conflict, financial struggle, or feeling unseen. Instead of reacting to the situation, pause and look inward. Ask yourself, what emotion does this situation mirror back to me? Is it fear, frustration, or a sense of lack? The moment you become aware of the internal emotion connected to the external event, you begin to shift the energy behind it. This practice turns your life into a living experiment in consciousness. It allows you to witness the mirror effect in real time, not as philosophy, but as a direct experience. The more you practice awareness instead of reaction, the more clearly you see how your energy sculpts your reality. In truth, The mirror test is not about control, it is about recognition. When you see life as a reflection, every experience becomes a message instead of a problem. Each moment invites you to adjust the signal you are broadcasting. Every experience in your life, whether painful or peaceful, carries one quiet purpose: reflection. Reality is not testing you or trying to prove your worth. It is showing you your own vibration in physical form so you can see what needs to come back into balance. The mirror of the universe is compassionate. It never lies, but it never condemns either. It simply reflects. The truth is simple. The mirror of reality has always been listening. It listens to your energy, not your words. It remembers every signal you send and organizes itself to match it perfectly. Because the universe does not copy what you want. It copies what you are. And when you change the vibration of what you are, the mirror has no choice but to follow.